The sun was beginning to dip behind the jagged peaks of the high Sierras, turning the sky a bruised purple. I was packing up my campsite when I heard a sound that didn't belong in the wilderness, a high-pitched metallic clink. I followed the noise to a dry creek bed. There, stumbling blindly through the brush, was a young black bear cub. My heart hammered against my ribs, not because I was scared of the cub, but because of what was on its head. The cub had managed to get its head stuck inside a large, rusted thistle-seed bird feeder. It was like a heavy iron helmet. Every time the cub tried to shake it off, the metal rattled against its skull. It was exhausted, dehydrated, and clearly hadn't eaten in days. I knew the mother bear was likely nearby, and getting close to a cub is the most dangerous thing you can do in the woods. But the cub was stumbling toward a steep ledge. If it fell while blinded by the feeder, it was over. I didn't have a tranquilizer or professional tools. I had a heavy canvas tarp and a pair of tin snips from my truck's emergency kit. I moved upwind so the cub could smell me. I spoke in a low, steady hum, trying to sound like part of the forest. When the cub collapsed from exhaustion near a cedar tree, I threw the heavy tarp over its body to pin its limbs and protect myself from claws. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely grip the snips. I began to cut through the thin wire mesh of the feeder. Snip, snip, the rusted metal groaned. With one final heave, the helmet split open. The cub didn't attack. It scrambled out from under the tarp, blinking its dark, wet eyes at the sudden light. It took a long, shaky breath of mountain air, looked at me for a split second, and then bolted into the thicket where a low, deep grunt, the mother, was waiting. I sat there on the dirt for 20 minutes, just breathing. I was covered in rust and bear fur, and I'd lost my best tarp. But as the first stars came out, I realized that for one small creature, the world wasn't a metal cage anymore. It was wide open,